My name is Isabella Taylor, I'm 30 years old. I've been married to Eric for 3 years. And now, I've put an end to our 3 years of marriage. I left a box packed with important things as a final gift. What's this box? I'm gonna toss any forgotten stuff. No way. That's something important to you. I love talking to people and worked at a local company valuing communication, where I met Eric. Initially, just co-workers, we gradually grew to cherish each other's presence. Let's keep pushing through, together, we'd encourage each other. One day, Eric took me to a restaurant. Then he proposed, saying, "I want to be with you forever." Of course, I said yes. As we prepared for our wedding, Eric told me he wanted me to focus on housework. Though I was keen on continuing my fulfilling career, persuaded by Eric, I resigned amidst my boss and colleagues' regrets. On my last day, my boss said, "You're always welcome back if you decide to return to work," leaving me with mixed feelings but excited for the new life with Eric. Being a homemaker was busier and more fulfilling than expected. I've always loved cooking and even got hooked on creating budget recipes. As a homemaker, managing finance was essential, so cleaning and managing the home filled my days quickly. Yet, I always hoped to return to work someday, so I also studied for certifications to upgrade my skills. One Sunday afternoon, folding laundry, I grew increasingly irritated with Eric's attitude. Even as I ran the washing machine since morning, vacuumed, and cleaned the bathroom, Eric just lounged on the couch, scrolling through his phone, not offering to help at all. "If you'd help a bit, we could have more time to relax together." Eric thinks it's natural for me, a full-time homemaker, to handle all household chores. Today, we were supposed to visit my in-laws in the evening. Their place is just a 10-minute drive away, so we're often called over for visits. But truth be told, I find my in-laws difficult to deal with. "Eric, Isabella, welcome." "Good evening. I didn't want to always be on the receiving end of your hospitality, so I brought some dishes I made." "Oh, how thoughtful of you." What should have been a cozy family dinner started with, "If Mia had made this, it would have been much nicer." Maybe you should improve your cooking. Mia's cooking was always delicious. My in-laws are always like this. I thought I was pretty confident in my cooking. Everyone else always says it's delicious. Normally, you'd expect a husband to stand up for his wife when in-laws say such harsh things, but Eric joined in, praising Mia with them. Mia is Eric's ex-girlfriend, they say he dated before me. Mia's stories again. Every time we visit my in-laws, the conversation always centers around Eric's ex-girlfriend, with both my in-laws and Eric joining in. I wish they would stop. It's always like this, with me feeling left out, and the conversation constantly revolving around Mia. I really thought Eric would marry Mia. Well, things happen. Even though we're invited over to my in-laws' place, I end up just listening to this kind of talk. There's no need for me to be here then. It was just a suffocating time of silently eating. The only conversation directed at me was, "Isabella, still no kids? You're not getting any younger, and since you're not working, having a child is about all you can do." Yeah, Mom's right. It's not like you're good for anything else, considering we don't have kids. Even Eric joins his parents in making it seem like it's my fault we don't have children. That's why I hated going to your parents' place. On the way home, I asked Eric, "Don't you think what was said at your parents' place today was a bit much?" He looked surprised. "What do you mean?" "All the talk about your ex in front of me." "Oh, that? The stuff about Mia is all in the past. I'm married to you now, so it shouldn't matter." Eric's words did nothing to ease my worries or make me feel any better. The fact that we're married doesn't justify glorifying his past relationships with the words of Eric and his parents. "And what's this about only being good for having kids? That's a horrible thing to say. It sounds like it's all my fault." "Well, we don't have kids yet, so it can't be helped." "Even if that's the case, it's a problem for both of us, not just me alone." "Just let it slide. You really sweat the small stuff. I felt our happy married life crumbling away. Hoping to improve my relationship with my in-laws, I continued to visit their home, only to hear, Mia was so honest and adorable. If only we had a grandchild that looked like her. Why did you break up with Mia? It was always about Mia, making me feel invisible. I would have preferred to marry Mia. Mia was out of your league, really. Isabella is more your speed. They even went as far as to say things like that, making me wonder, what am I to you? If that's how you feel, you should have married Mia. My doubts about Eric grew, and I found myself trusting him less and less. And I started thinking, maybe we can't go on like this. Around that time, Eric began coming home late and often went out until late at night. One evening, while Eric was showering, his smartphone rang on the living room table. Who could that be at this hour? The screen showed, had a great time today. When can we meet again? What does meet again mean? I thought you had a work dinner tonight. My heart turned cold, and I left the smartphone on the table without opening the message, but my suspicions only grew. As days passed, my heart grew heavier. Our relationship showed no signs of improving, and the pressure from my in-laws only increased day by day. My in-laws continued to praise Mia unabashedly and openly scorn me. Even though Isabella is a homemaker, she's not good at housework. Mia would have done a much better job. My in-laws would say, and Eric would just agree with them every time. He never defended or stood up for his wife. One night, after Eric went to bed early, I sat on the living room couch and started searching for something online. That indifferent attitude towards his own wife. Eric is suspicious. He might be having an affair. As I looked up signs of an affair and how to deal with it, something inside me began to change. I wanted to prioritize my own happiness. And the desire to confirm my suspicions grew stronger. I stumbled upon an article titled Actions of a Wife Suspecting an Affair and wondered, is this what I should do? The article outlined steps to turn suspicion into certainty. Stay calm, gather evidence, and then make the best choice for oneself. And I decided to take that step. Today, I was meeting my best friend, Samantha, after a long time. Samantha had taken a day off to have a leisurely lunch with me. Samantha works for a company which is a business partner of Eric, and we became best friends when I was working because we got along so well. How have you been? It's been 3 years since you left your job, right? Yeah, being a homemaker is fulfilling and fun. You were always so driven at work. It's hard to believe you're content with being a homemaker. When I decide to do something, whether it's work or household chores, I go all out. I'm a perfectionist. That's true. Your home is always spotless whenever I visit, and I admire that. Plus, you've gotten into cooking recently, right? The dishes you post on social media look professional. Well, you know me. I like to excel at everything. Eric's lucky to have married you. That's what you'd think, but it doesn't seem that way. I shared with Samantha about Mia, the derogatory comments from my in-laws and Eric. That's terrible of Eric and his parents. What do they think of you? It's like I'm just a bad maid to them. There was even a message from another woman on Eric's phone late at night. Probably. No way, is he cheating? Maybe you should confront him. But I don't have solid proof yet, and I'm thinking maybe I should let him slip up. I see. I'll help however I can, just let me know. Thank you, Samantha. I felt grateful to have a friend who understood me. After lunch with Samantha, on my way home, I accidentally spotted Eric. Is that Eric? Who's the woman next to him? It's still work hours. Maybe a colleague? But they seem pretty close. Wait, is that Eric? The woman next to him. Mia? Is that Mia? How do you know her? Mia's a colleague of mine. She's known for jumping from guy to guy. That Mia is Eric's ex we were just talking about. Really? The one who's supposedly good at cooking? No way. That woman can't cook to save her life. She's just good at pretending. Samantha, do you have time? I need a favor. Of course. Let's follow them. And so, Samantha and I decided to tail Eric and Mia. In broad daylight, they went into a hotel. Just as I thought. My suspicions were confirmed. Isabella, are you okay? Yeah, I was prepared for this, so I'm fine. We decided to wait for them to come out. Do you mind if I make a quick call? Sure, go ahead. Hello. I'm Eric Taylor's wife. I need to urgently reach my husband due to a family matter, but I can't seem to get through. I see, I'll try contacting him from here. If you can't reach him, could you please inform his supervisor about this? All right. Thank you very much. Then, we took photos of them entering and leaving the hotel. Samantha, thank you. No problem. Just say the word, and I'll help out. Can I ask you for one more favor? Of course. As if nothing had happened, I went home and started preparing dinner, but my revenge had quietly begun. I started to observe Eric's movements more carefully. The days he came home late, his reasons for going out, and how he handled his smartphone. While Eric was sleeping, I gently picked up his smartphone and unlocked it with my heart racing. The messages, photos, and his schedule. I found all confirmed my suspicions were correct. I felt a strong need to take action to escape this situation. The next day, I went to a law firm for consultation. Photos proving Eric was still involved with his ex-girlfriend Mia in an affair. Audio evidence of my in-laws demeaning me by bringing up the ex-girlfriend. I've been verbally abused by my husband and in-laws for a long time. And my husband is having an affair. I want to file for damages against my husband and in-laws. The evidence will serve as solid proof. Let's prepare a demand letter for damages based on this. Claiming damages for the verbal abuse from your in-laws is possible with this much evidence. My preparations were steadily advancing. Then one day, Eric suddenly called me into the living room with a heavy atmosphere. Isabella, I have something to tell you. What? Why so formal? My mistress Mia is pregnant. That's why I want a divorce. At that moment, my heart turned ice cold, yet it felt like I was being confronted with a reality I had been prepared for. What? Eric continued talking without meeting my eyes. Both your dad and mom know. They're thrilled about having a grandchild. Those words filled me with deep despair, but at the same time, I was convinced of the importance of the evidence I had collected. Over the past few months, Eric's unnaturally late returns home had increased. Samantha and I tailed him, found messages and photos on his smartphone, and captured photos of them entering a hotel. All these proved my suspicions were correct. That night, I resolved to take revenge on Eric, Mia, and my in-laws. The next morning, Eric said, I want you to leave today. I want to live here with Mia as soon as possible, before he went to work. Selfish man. He has no idea what's coming. I plan to leave today. I started packing my things in the morning. I was going to stay at my best friend Samantha's place for a while. But first, there's something I need to do. I went to the law firm in the morning. My husband didn't just have an affair, he got her pregnant. That's terrible. The demand letter is ready. They have the obligation to pay a fair amount. Don't worry, I'll assist you. Thank you. I felt supported having a competent lawyer by my side. After consulting the lawyer, I went back home to continue my preparations to leave. Alone in the living room, I quietly started packing the evidence into a box to show them. Then, I placed the box in a conspicuous spot in the room. Before leaving the house, I wrote a letter to my in-laws. I have always tried to build a good relationship, but I have always been compared to Mia and felt like I wasn't accepted as part of the family. Your reaction to it has deeply hurt me, making me feel lonely and betrayed. I've collected evidence and left it in Eric's room. I want you to know the truth and understand the betrayal I felt. There you go. With that, I bid farewell to my married life. I vowed to see the impact my actions would have on Eric, Mia, and my in-laws. Then, I mailed the letter and the demand letter for compensation to my in-laws' house. Afterwards, I dropped another envelope in the mailbox and headed to Eric's company. I need to get back to work myself. I offered to return to my previous job. My former boss welcomed me back with open arms. Having Isabella, now a popular cooking influencer on social media, return as the face of our kitchenware company will surely double our popularity. Yes, that's right. My hobby of posting cooking content on social media has made me quite popular, and now I'm known as a famous cook. Then, I'll be starting next week, I said, leaving the company. Then, Eric and Mia came back from work. What's this box? I'll throw away any forgotten stuff. Thinking it wasn't his, Eric contacted me. No way. That's something important for you. Important for me? What is it? Eric said, looking inside the box. What is this? Why are these here? The box was filled with photos of the affair, them entering the hotel, leaving the hotel, going to the doctor together, shopping for baby supplies with my in-laws, and many more undeniable proofs of the affair and abuse. At the very bottom of the box was a demand letter for compensation and divorce papers. Along with a sticky note that read, "Please fill out the divorce papers and arrange for the payment of compensation." Also included was an envelope with instructions. Please open this envelope with Mia. What's this envelope about? What does it mean, open with me? The two of them opened the envelope. This was actually something I had asked Samantha to do. Since Mia was known to switch partners frequently, I had her investigate Mia's other relationships. I suspected that the baby might not be Eric's, so I also had Samantha look into who the father could be. Since Samantha was Mia's colleague, she could easily gather information on Mia's other relationships and quickly obtained photos of Mia with other men. It turned out Mia was dating two other men besides Eric. One was a guy named Lucas, and another was David, who, like Eric, was already married. On the days Eric wasn't around, either David or Lucas would visit Mia's place. Apparently, Lucas was the main man, and the baby was likely his. However, Lucas didn't want the child, so the plan was to have Eric divorce and marry Mia to raise the child together, and David, another affair partner, was expected to pay child support. What a woman! Hearing about such a homewrecker is astonishing. Upon seeing the evidence photos, Eric exclaimed, "Mia, what's the meaning of this?" Well, these people are just friends. Friends walk arm in arm into a hotel? It's not like that. What do you mean not like that? You had other men? There's no one else. It's not like that. Naturally, Eric and Mia faced a huge confrontation afterward. And I had one more thing to do. On the day I confirmed Eric and Mia entering a hotel, I had called his company claiming an urgent need to contact Eric. Despite multiple attempts, his colleagues couldn't reach him on his phone. Of course, he was busy enjoying his time off. Unable to reach Eric, his colleague naturally reported it to their supervisor. Though Eric managed to smooth things over somewhat, his supervisor and colleagues harbored doubts. Then, an anonymous letter arrived at the HR department. It was the letter I had mailed earlier. The letter reported an employee engaging in an affair during work hours, accompanied by photos of them entering and exiting a hotel, timestamped with a smartphone clock. The photos made it immediately clear that the employee was Eric, and the woman was Mia from a partner company. The photos' date and time matched the day I called Eric's company and the day his colleagues couldn't reach him, leading inevitably to Eric being summoned by his supervisor. What were you doing during work hours? This is a misunderstanding. What misunderstanding? This evidence is clear to anyone who sees it. Who took these photos? Could it be Isabella? It doesn't matter who. We will announce your disciplinary action later. Yes. Similarly, Mia's company was contacted by Eric's company, and the affair during work hours was revealed. Why such photos? Despite her attempts at excuses, the irrefutable evidence meant she couldn't escape responsibility. At Eric's parents' house, a letter from Isabella? They opened the letter. It contained evidence photos of Eric and Mia's affair, as well as photos showing Mia was involved with other men. His parents had indeed been fond of Mia, had wanted her back, and were aware that they had spoken harshly to me.
This has turned into a serious issue. We never thought she would go this far.
His parents also received a notification of a claim for damages for their verbal abuse towards me. When they heard that Mia was pregnant with Eric's child, they were overjoyed about the grandchild. The envelope also included various photos of Mia with other men.
Is the child really Eric's?
With these photos, the prospect of welcoming a grandchild now seemed dubious.
We're living on our pension. We don't have money to pay for damages. But we can't escape this claim for compensation.
It was then that they realized the magnitude of their actions. Later, I received a call from Eric.
Isabella, what have you done?
His voice was filled with panic.
Everything is the result of yours and Mia's actions, isn't it?
I'm the wife you cheated on. Well, soon-to-be ex-wife. You're not working. You won't be able to survive after the divorce, right? Even now, Eric was trying to belittle me. You don't have to worry about me. I have job prospects. I've been welcomed back to the company. The same company as you.
What do you mean? There's no way you can work now. After not working for 3 years, you can't just go back to your old job. That's ridiculous.
Well, my boss and colleagues are all welcoming me back.
What can someone like you do?
You didn't know, did you? I have 100,000 followers on SNS and am known as a cooking influencer.
What's that? You, a cooking influencer?
Yes, I plan to contribute a lot to the company. You should worry about yourself rather than others.
What are you talking about? We're going to be in the same workplace again.
We'll see. Later, as expected, I heard that both Eric and Mia were fired from their jobs.
Damn it! How did it come to this?
No matter what he said now, it was too late to change anything. Through this incident with Mia, David, another man she was involved with, also had his affair discovered by his wife. Mia insisted the child was Eric's, but Eric, unable to trust her, conducted a paternity test after the child was born. The result confirmed that the child was not his. David also had a paternity test, which confirmed the child was not his either. So it turned out the child was indeed Lucas's. Mia ended up being abandoned by both Eric and David and went to Lucas, claiming the child was his. But soon after, Lucas disappeared.
Lucas! Why? Where did you go?
Mia was left to deal with the alimony for 2 wives on top of raising the child. Having confirmed the alimony payments, Eric and Mia found themselves in debt to manage the huge amount, far from their once comfortable lifestyle. After losing her job, Mia reluctantly took up night work to repay her debts. The young child, inevitably, wasn't properly taken care of by Mia and ended up being raised by Mia's parents. Eric, too, found himself juggling multiple part-time jobs, cutting back on sleep to make ends meet. His parents deeply regretted their actions, realizing they had spoiled their son and his wife's life by favoring Mia and being cold to me. Moreover, their relationship breakdown resulted in them losing the chance to see their grandchild, and the family bond was lost. Gradually, Eric started blaming everything on his parents. He severed ties with them and shockingly proposed to me for reconciliation.
Isabella, can't we start over? I've cut ties with my parents, so you don't have to worry. I'll protect you from now on. So, alimony, can we forget about it?
Hearing Eric speak with such delusion, I felt dizzy. What is he talking about? Eric, still blaming his parents for everything and absolving himself of any guilt. Hopeless. Why would I ever reconcile with you? Take responsibility for your actions and pay the alimony. And don't contact me ever again. Eric, Mia, and his parents faced the hard truth that they couldn't turn back time to the happy days of their family. And my new days began with the revival of my dream career and life. Returning to work after days as a homemaker, I rediscovered the satisfaction of my job. My social media account kept gaining new followers, with my recipes and culinary photos earning widespread praise. As the face of a kitchenware brand, every time I posted a review on social media, the products sold out instantly.
Connecting with so many people through cooking, work is truly enjoyable.
While trying new recipes in the kitchen, I thought about this. At work, I succeeded in various projects through collaboration with colleagues, regaining my former confidence and vitality. My days are filled with professional work by day and passion for my social media activities by night. In these fulfilling days, I truly felt that this is where I belong, finding both work and cooking enjoyable. On weekends, I enjoyed single life with my best friend Samantha. We tried new restaurants and planned trips together. Samantha, thank you. It's because of you that I can walk towards such a positive future. Expressing my gratitude, Samantha replied with a smile, I'm also happy because you're with me, Isabella. Let's continue to enjoy many fun things together. Overcoming past hardships and carving out a new life with my own strength brought me deep satisfaction. And I realized that this moment is the most brilliant in my life.